Welcome back, Sunday Society, to another Hot Take Summer episode. This is number 6.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot to talk about, so grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's take back Sunday. Happy Monday. Holy moly. What a day.
Nothing ever happy about Mondays. Maybe for you, because you had the day off.
I did. I took 2 days off this week to get prepped for back to school season because it's going to get wild. So I needed just
I'm taking Wednesday off. If God willing, I'm taking
Lord willing, if the creek don't rise.
I'm taking Wednesday off because I worked this weekend.
Yes, you did. So I wanted to start this episode. We also are recording on a different platform, so we can slam our cards down and it's not slamming the camera.
Yeah.
So I want to start this episode off with a question that I learned from the Kardashians all these years ago. And I want to talk about,
I can't do it. That was good though. I'm proud of you.
Thanks. I would like to talk about the peak and the pit since we've last seen each other.
Oh, okay.
So if you're unfamiliar, the Kardashians have this like tradition, and I think a lot of people do, where they talk about like the peak of their day and the pit of their day. So obviously peak is high, pit is low. And I just wanted to know like what your peak and pit have been since we last recorded.
Okay, so I'm going to go with a really easy one. It's probably because it just happened. But my daughter, we spent all weekend at a softball tournament, and she won the championship, her team, and that was so exciting.
Yeah.
So Saturday, there was like a downpour for like 2 hours of rain, so we had a delay, and it really threw them off. They don't do well with breaks.
Yeah,
and then during their game on Sunday, there was like an appeal, something about the roster. I think something wasn't like updating right on the site, like for their guest players, it was right on the paper. And so they had to stop with like 10 or 15 minutes left in that game and wait it was like 45 minutes anyway, it was just a whole bunch of politics. They ended up winning still, and they were on fire when they stopped that game.
Yeah.
So they kind of struggled, and then they got back into it. They won that game. And then they ended up winning against the team that, protested them and had the issue.
Sweet vindication.
And my husband definitely played We Are the Champions.
Yeah, he did when they were walking off. But the girls were super good sports about it. Like when they handed out the medals,
nice.
Adeline's team did the little rainbow thing where they stand across from each other at the tower, and for the other team to run through after they got their medals. And I thought, how great is that they were
it was
celebrating them,
Yeah.
And then they didn't reciprocate, but I think they gently, golf clapped for them.
But
that was fun.
Yeah, no, it was good. Pit, I'm exhausted, and my air conditioning in my office is not wanting to work right. And so I'm sitting in 85-degree weather in my office, and that makes me want to kill everybody.
Your office is a swamp pit.
It makes me want to kill everybody.
Yeah.
So I am not going to be a nice person if we don't get this fixed.
Yeah. We're on a heat advisory all week. 100-degree weather before the.
I got a message also that said no softball on Thursday, and I was like,
I couldn't have been
hallelujah.
Happier. Couldn't have been happier if I tried.
And we're going to Kevin Hart on Friday. So and then Adeline has their last tournament this weekend. It's just gonna be be great.
It is gonna be a nice week. I am excited that the games got canceled. I'm so lazy, but it's hot.
It's just gonna be hot. It's just gonna be hot.
Is that why they canceled it?
I have no idea.
Okay, cool. But then, Kevin Hart on Friday.
Yeah.
I'm super pumped. That's going to be my peak for the next episode that we talk on.
Yeah. So what are your peak and pit?
You would think that I would know these and be ready because I created this question and I had them ready, and now I completely forgot what they were because I have stage fright. So I guess I will start with, I remember my peak. I hit a stand-up triple at the slow pitch games last Thursday.
Yeah.
I have really been struggling with my bat lately, and the time before that I was up to bat, I hit it, right over shortstop, so it was short into the outfield. So they moved up, and I remember when I got up to bat, I looked at them 2 or 3 times. I stood, and I was like, these dudes, they moved up for me. No, they didn't. And then I think it was Jared pitched, and it was either Derek or Jared, and I smoked it right over their heads. And I was like, yes.
love that.
Because when I catch and the girls do that, I'm like, you go, girl. Like, I don't even care if they're on the other team. I stay cheering for the girls.
Yes,
I am
do
a girl's
too.
girl.
If you're a girl and you're playing softball and you have a good hit, I'm going to tell
I am
you
your
whether
girl,
you're on
yes.
my team or not.
Yes, good hit, good play. If they move up
Yes.
for you, I'm like, sis, you just pop it right over their heads.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and
'Cause
I'm
it's
so
just not
sad
that
that I
serious.
missed seeing that. But
Yeah.
a couple weeks before, we were in Blue Springs, and I had a really good night here,
Yes.
and my bat was just on fire.
On fire.
And they kept moving back, and I kept just going a little farther than they did.
yes.
And to
It's
see like
motivating.
them moving back for you, you're like,
It's
ooh.
like, oh yeah, it's an ego boost for sure. When
Yeah.
the men in the outfield are like, oh, we can't move up for this girl. We got to stay back here. I'm like, yeah, you do. So that was the peak.
Yeah.
My pit's kind of depressing, but it was just because the last time we recorded, it was like 2 days after all that incident at the movies. And just coming to the realization, I had a really tough couple of days after that. And just coming to the realization that like, there might not be anybody left out there that wants anything serious. And we've talked about it on here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 34 and a half in September. I celebrate half birthdays. Hot take, half birthdays are relevant. Mine is September 30th and I expect cake. But the men that are my age typically have already done this. You know, they've been committed, they've been in either married or in a serious relationship, they have kids, and they just don't want to go through it anymore because they've been burned. And they're just like, I did all that. I have crossed that box off. I don't need to do it again.
Yeah.
Or they're 19 years old. I can't seem to find anybody my age that is like, yeah, girl, let me call you Miss Bianca. It's just the youngins that I'm like, I'm 20 years older than you. I'm not. That would be something. But that was my pit. So I probably should have started with that so I could have ended on the high note. But that was my pit.
In true Bianca fashion, it's okay.
Yeah.
You like to be a little sad.
As Neil refers to me, he calls me Eeyore.
Yeah.
When we talked about Inside Out, he's like, I was watching that, and you know who you remind me of?
Sadness.
The blue one. I was like, dang it, you're
That's
so right.
funny.
And the purple one, and I was like, sadness and fear, anxiety and depression. Hello. So I was like, nailed it. So that's how I wanted to start the episode. I thought that would be fun to kind of reflect on the week that we had.
No, I like that. So I want to start with some would you rathers, and we're
Oh,
just gonna
yes.
shot fire, but like we can talk about them because there's some good ones in here.
Yay. Okay.
All right, first one. Would you rather wear really ugly glasses that are the right prescription, or ones that look great but are slightly blurry?
No, I would.
Forever and ever and ever.
I would look ugly for sure because it gives you a headache if you wear the
Yes.
wrong prescription. And
Well,
I
and you'd
truly
be
just
like,
don't
what?
care.
Walking around looking ugly either way because you're like, what am I looking at?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
I
think,
agree with that.
yeah, I would choose the ugly glasses because I feel like I do anything. I don't know what fashion is.
Would you flip a coin if heads meant you got $10 billion and tails meant you instantly died?
Oh my God, no.
I
would not.
would in a heartbeat. Number
that's-
one, Jesus,
I was gonna
come
say
back.
we have very different opinions about death. You're like, when it's time, it's time. I'm like, I'm not ready to die.
So like, Jesus, you come back today, tomorrow, next week, whatever. I'm ready.
Take your
This
time,
world
Lord. Take your time.
Is sus.
That's true. That's true.
But no, for real,
So you
I think
flip
I'd
the
do
coin.
it. Yeah, girl, shoot.
Mm-mm.
I would be like,
50%
can I talk to
chance?
my family first? I'd be like, listen, I love you
Mhm.
enough to like instantly die if this goes bad. But if it doesn't,
We're about to be
gonna-
happy.
yeah, we're about to have the best life.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mama ain't ever working.
There's so much I still want to do.
Yeah,
So
no,
much I
I'm
wanna
good.
do.
I'm good. I can like just enjoy the rest of my life in eternity. I'm good with it. So okay, I figured you would say no. I'm gonna say which ones I think you would say after you say them.
Or go. Oh yeah. Okay.
Would you rather have an extra toe or an extra finger?
Extra toe.
See, I would rather have an extra finger.
No, you can hide those things in
No.
shoes.
Listen, then you have to always be getting specialized shoes. Like
I already got to get the big shoes.
an extra finger, like that's an extra tool. No, an extra toe is not gonna do anything for you. I can hold one more thing in my hand. I knew you were gonna say extra toe because of the way it looks, and I'm thinking like functionability.
But what about in the winter when it's cold? You gotta get them special gloves.
Oh no, you probably just shove. You just
That's how I feel about toes. You just
No, girl.
scooch
Have
them.
you ever had shoes that rub on your
Yes.
toes? Well,
Yes.
imagine having an extra toe. in
Well,
there.
we just wearing flip flops all year, and y'all just gonna see my extra toes. Now, like, is it the same on each, or is it just one extra
Nope, I
toe
think
on
it's just
one foot?
one.
That's weird, but okay. Who's asking these questions?
I mean, the internet. I don't know. Okay,
The internet.
we'll get rid of that. Okay, would you rather be followed? I love this one. Would you rather be followed by a band wherever you go,
Yes.
or by someone narrating your life? And
Okay.
I'm like, I narrate my own life half the time. Like, could you imagine Morgan Freeman?
There she goes, walking down the street.
I know.
Alone. I don't need people to tell me how alone I am. Have you ever? Okay. Have you ever been in the car listening to a song and you like pretend you're in the music video?
No. But I have pretended I was on the concert, but not in the music.
Oh.
Maybe like some NSYNC, like
No, like when I was little and like these big emotional like
maybe
Avril Lavigne songs come on and you're just like looking out the windows like you're in the video, like
Yeah.
depressed and feeling it. Okay, so I would want a band to narrate because I pretend like I'm in a music video anyway all the
Yeah.
time.
So you would want a band to follow you
Yes,
around,
yes,
playing music constantly
yeah,
versus a narrator.
yeah.
Okay.
Because I
just
don't
feel
need
like I
to.
would be so distracted.
I mean,
Never get anything done.
if somebody were narrating my life, I feel like I'd be distracted. They're like, oh, she's going to go to the left. Oh, nope, the right, because I have ADHD. They're like, she's going to go change the trash. Oh, she found some dishes. She's walking to the dishwasher. Oh, on the way to the dishwasher, she saw she needed to sweep up some hair. She started sweeping, put the dishes down.
Yeah.
What was she going to do? I feel like it would just be like a mixtape
Yeah.
all the time.
Samuel L. Jackson or Morgan Freeman. Those are my two choices to narrate. my life.
Samuel L. Jackson. Now that I could get behind. Ain't no mother freaking snakes. Had to censor myself.
Okay, would you rather begin every sentence with "Hey jerk face," or you can put in whatever word you want. I feel like this is a little childish, but or end every sentence with "Ha ha ha." I'm just kidding.
I think I would like to start with "Hey jerk face."
I think I'd be like, "Ha ha," just kidding. But then you'd be
I
like,
love you, huh? Just kidding.
Yeah.
Hey jerk face, I love you.
Yeah. Either one really is not great. But
Not
like you
the
think about
greatest.
it and you're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry your father passed." I'm just kidding.
Hey jerk face, sorry your father passed.
Yeah, I'm like either. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
Okay, would you rather have 100 duck-sized elephants or 1 elephant-sized duck?
Oh my gosh. Okay, 100?
Yeah.
I take the elephants. Elephants are cool.
I know,
What would you do
they're
with a
so
giant
cute.
duck?
If they're tiny, you can just like have like a little farm
little
of miniature
herd.
elephants.
Yes.
That
Your own little safari
Yep, that's
of
my.
elephants.
But hopefully heaven has them because I'll be super excited.
Right,
Little
like-
mini elephants.
Right? Like, you know, they have those Highland cows. Like, where are my
Yeah.
Highland elephants?
I need a Highland cow in my life. Okay, would you rather be stuck in a romantic comedy with your worst enemy or in a horror movie with your best friend?
Dang. I don't want to be stuck in a horror movie with you. I don't feel like we would make it.
Girl, you don't think I would make it?
I don't think I would make it.
Girl, I will pull out the Walking Dead like barbed wire bat.
Oh, that baseball bat that,
And,
that
like,
one
take
guy
them
had.
out.
I'm trying to think like who my worst enemy is.
I mean,
No, like because I'm trying to really. I don't know why, but I'm really
oh,
invested.
I did. I know.
Who mine is?
No, mine.
Oh,
I thought about
Okay, well we'll cut this next part out. So stay tuned for a small break. After further review, the play on the field is overturned. Bianca would rather be in the horror movie with Hannah
I think we could outsmart them.
I think we could. I think that we stand a pretty good chance of surviving that one and maybe live long enough to be the villains and get a
That's
sequel.
what I was going to say. We could be the villains. Nobody would
'Cause
know
it
we're
doesn't
so
say.
smart. We know how to get away with murder. We watched enough true crime.
Okay, let's just make sure. Let's not
Not
get crazy here.
In the movie.
CIA, FBI, listen, just moving along.
Yeah, I would
We're
rather
kidding.
be in a horror movie with you for sure.
Right, because it doesn't say what characters we are in the horror movie.
Yeah,
Maybe
and
we are.
you hate being around people that you dislike. Like, you just are like,
Yeah,
I just am like, there's no way she's gonna want to be in a romantic comedy.
No, there's no way.
Okay, would you rather buy 10 things you don't need every time you go shopping, or always forget the one thing you need when you go shopping?
So my life now.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I always am forgetting.
I'm always forgetting what I actually
But like
need, and I'm always getting
single
extra
time,
things.
every single time you go shopping.
10 things you don't need. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 10 things you don't need because you never know when you might need them, and that's why I'm a hoarder.
Yeah, I think 10 things. I'm like, well, that's just 10 extra things.
Yeah.
What if you
What if
like
the apocalypse
we
happens?
need toilet paper and you never can get toilet paper?
COVID, hello, 2020 showed us that.
You know what that's like.
I still don't like how we acted during COVID with the toilet
It
paper.
really showed people's true colors.
Yeah.
Okay, last but not least,
Oh,
would you rather see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the future?
150.
See, I'm 10 minutes.
No, I want to know like how the world looks. Like, should I have kids? Is there still gonna be a planet at that point? Like, should I even like waste my time trying to find anybody? And that sounds depressing. But I also would like to see like advancements and like what is there to look forward to?
So Bianca, I'm typically the more optimistic one, I feel like, but you're more pessimistic. But
I feel like this is me being pessimistic.
But
I just
like
want
for
to see
me,
if we're gonna still.
you're
be
like,
there.
oh, I want to see the advancements. I'm like, we are going to hell in a handbasket.
Hannah's like,
I do
there
not
will be
care
none.
what this horrible tragedy of this world is going to be.
Well,
in
maybe
150
it
years.
like turns around. Like maybe
So,
things
like,
get better.
Whoever that character is in the Deadpool movie that we watched at home, where he can like reverse just a little bit and fix things. I think it would be cool to see like 10 minutes ahead, like to kind of like know and this is an anxiety control thing, to kind of know what's expected. And you could always shift like like you could shift what you're going to do to help with the next 10 minutes of your life.
Well, then that little change, it's the butterfly effect. Like you
Yes.
change one small thing and it's just going to reverberate and
Yep.
150 years is going to look different if you change
Yeah.
that one thing.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
I haven't either. It is a good movie.
So yeah, those are my would you rathers. I thought you would say 150 years.
Yeah.
10 minutes. That's all I need. Just give me 10 minutes extra. Like, for example, if you in 10 minutes, if you left your house 10 minutes later, you miss an accident.
I just like to think that the universe does that for me anyway. Like when I get stuck behind somebody really slow on the highway, I'm like, this is an angel that the universe has placed in front of me. Because if I were going to get where I needed to go at the speed and rate that I was
Yeah.
going, there was something there for me that I shouldn't have been
Yeah.
around. You know, that's my mindset anyway. But
Well, when I get behind a slow car when I'm trying to speed to go to work in the mornings, and then down the road just a little ways, a state trooper has somebody else pulled over. I'm like, woo!
dodge that bullet.
Thank you, slow car.
Yes. No, I
Could have been
will say I have road rage. Like, don't pretend like I'm not cussing that angel out in front of me in that car. But I am usually like, okay, there's a reason for this. I'm just going to trust that it's important enough that I need to be going 5 under the speed limit.
Yeah. Well, thank you for answering
Those were
my
fun.
would you rather.
Those were fun. All right. Well, now I'm going to bring a freaking downer.
No, it's okay.
So my first, newsworthy thing that actually I meant to talk about on one of the last episodes that we recorded is that Bob Newhart died.
Yeah.
We were just talking about Elf, and he's Papa Elf,
I know.
and it made me so sad because I had just I went on a Legally Blonde kick after we had those shirts made for the 4th of July, and he's in the second movie
Yes, he is.
as the doorman, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
and then a week later they're like legendary actor Bob Newhart. I'm like, what? No.
Yeah,
So,
sad day.
yeah, so that made me sad. That made me. I'm still bummed. I haven't recovered.
I just don't get too worked up about famous people. But
I know you
anyway,
don't.
it's somebody's family. It's sad. Whatever.
Yeah.
How old was he?
He's probably 98. He was pretty old,
He
but
lived
still.
a good life.
He did. our relationships with death is very different, and I feel like we could have a whole episode on
We
that.
probably could.
We
It
probably
should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It definitely is. It
Idea.
definitely is very different. But I
Episode
think
idea.
a lot of that has to do with my personal experiences and more so my professional experience.
I was gonna say, I think your spirituality, your experience personally, and your line of work
Yeah.
all affect your view on death. But that's something that we're gonna spend a whole episode on. So we're gonna move on because now
Yeah.
it's in my brain. Somebody write it down because I'll forget. All right, what's next for you? Please be something happy. Because my next one's
Okay.
hilarious.
Well, so it's kind of. So have you heard we're canceling Netflix, everybody?
Oh, are we? I heard today that we are boycotting Starbucks.
Oh, well, we're canceling Netflix. So the creator of Netflix gave $7 million to the campaign for Kamala Harris. And people are like, but we can't share passwords with our families or our friends. You have $7 million, but you're worried about my $20?
Oh my gosh, what a valid point.
It
though.
really was. I felt like when I was looking at these, it wasn't about who they would vote for. They were just
It
like,
was
you have $7 million.
Right. It could have been if they endorsed Trump.
Yeah,
The same
yeah.
thing would have
And I just
happened.
thought it was funny. I was like, yeah, $7 million.
That is insane.
And a lot of these people are like, and you called us stupid. Because they're young.
Did they call us stupid?
Huh?
Did they call us stupid?
Netflix did not, and we are not in this category. We are not young people.
Oh
It's
no.
like 18 to 24. She did she was speaking and she
Who
was
is
like,
she?
oh, Kamala Harris.
Oh, she called us stupid?
Not us. We are not in that category again. She said
I'm
18
yelling
and
my
24-year-olds, and I'm going to paraphrase it because but pretty much she was like, let's be honest, they're stupid. Yeah.
Okay.
They are stupid. That's why they go to college and they have to have somebody look over them in their dorms. Like, they're dumb.
Okay. I mean,
And I
she
was
shouldn't
like-
have said that, but I don't think she's
And
wrong.
I'm like, dang, girl, you trying to get votes. But she also didn't realize she was going to be running for president, I guess.
So I
there's
guess
that.
I'm going to skip around then to one of my other ones is that Joe Biden did step down. We
Oh,
touched
sorry.
on it. No, that's fine. We touched on it a little bit in the last episode that it
Yeah.
was kind of a very
Sleepy Joe.
a very reliable rumor that is
Yes.
now a fact. He has
Yes.
stepped down and he has endorsed Kamala Harris as his the Democratic
Yeah.
successor
Candidate.
candidate.
Is it official that AOC is running with her?
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay, so that's
I don't
just,
think she had. Yeah, I don't know that
just
she has
a rumor
officially.
as well. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think she has officially chosen a running mate because she hasn't officially been nominated yet.
Oh,
That's all still up in the air.
whole Other politic thing.
It's too
going
much
on, yeah.
political stuff that I don't understand. I know that it has to do with the delegates and the super delegates, and I truly have talked about this actually, I have listened to other people talk about this so much that I don't want to talk about it here. This is my safe space. I just want to say Joe Biden is no longer running for president,
Yes.
and we
And
are
that is
thankful
good.
for that.
Yes. I feel like everybody can be on the same page in
Yes.
agreement
Yes. I think
that
he
it's
made
a
a
good
choice.
thing that he is not running for
Yeah.
his own well-being and for
Yeah.
the country's.
Yeah.
Although I don't think he would have had a chance. Even the Democrats were wanting to vote for him. So,
yeah.
anywho.
And if he would have won, he wouldn't have survived his term.
Yeah,
I don't think he
I
would
don't
have
think
lived.
so. I don't think he's doing well.
No, I don't either. But anyway,
Yeah,
we
so
wish him well.
Netflix.
Back to
Why
Netflix.
do you need our extra $20
$7 million?
when you can donate $7 million? Dang, like
The audacity didn't cost it must have cost $7 million.
So yeah, I was one of those people. I shared a Netflix account with my parents.
I still am on my parents' account.
Yeah, it's because you live close to them.
Super close.
I live close to my parents too, but not close enough.
Not close enough.
And they were
Gavin,
like-
who lives right next door, isn't close enough. He can't get into the
That's
Netflix
crazy.
account, but I can. We're literally like 20 yards from each other.
Yeah,
Like,
that's so crazy. Yeah,
it
it's
is
like
insane.
I went to try to get in, and I live under a rock most times with news, so I didn't know. And it was like, this looks like you're not at home, and I'm
Mhm,
like, I am at home, and then I realized, oh my gosh, they're talking about my dad's home, and he
Yeah.
was like, oh, don't you pay for one? I'm like, I'm going to, but now. Like I almost don't watch Netflix as much, so I'm
dude,
like,
there's
is it worth
so
it?
many streaming services.
That's
That's a hot
There
take.
is. So here's why we don't. We did until Zach got YouTube TV.
Mhm.
And it has live TV and then it has all kinds of other things. I feel like it's more expensive because it's live TV and non-live TV, but I feel like we use it the most.
Yeah,
So it's like, do I really need to spend an extra, like the Rocket Money, is that what it's called? Rocket Money?
I have no
It's an
idea.
app. I'm not getting paid for this endorsement. It is an app that will show you log in and it's like secure.
Oh,
It will
yeah,
give you
yeah.
all of your information and it will tell you what subscriptions you have, what you're spending money on. Like it will say like, this is how much last month you spent in at McDonald's, or this is how much you spent in
I don't
fast
need to
food.
know.
And
Don't tell me that.
it lets you be more aware of your financials. So I know how many subscriptions we have and stuff. And I'm like, well, do I really need to spend another $20? And then I'm like, oh, we don't really use Disney Plus much. Do I really need that? But it's connected to Hulu.
Mhm,
And I
mhm.
do use Hulu. Not that much though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is what it is. But yeah.
Boo
So
Netflix.
people are
Boo
going
Netflix.
why are people okay, I have to know because I don't. Why are people canceling Starbucks?
Apparently they have like provided funding or something to Gaza.
Oh.
So Starbucks is canceled until further notice. Dunkin' Donuts it is, I guess. I didn't know.
Scooters and that
Ooh.
7 Brew are really good.
Yeah, and you know what? There is a place in Green Valley called the Green Valley Social, and it is a locally owned coffee shop. So you know what?
I was gonna say
Shop local.
10-12.
10-12 Main.
Yes.
10-12 Main if you're in
If
Lexington.
you're in Lexington, it is so good. It tastes
Like
just
Starbucks.
as good as Starbucks
And
or
it's
Dunkin' or any of the big, and it's local. And they have amazing pastries down
Yes,
there.
Annie.
Muffins,
Mhm.
cinnamon rolls. What's that other cake thing that's like, it's kind of like a cinnamon roll, but it's not.
I don't know.
It's like
She had like a
cherry.
strawberry roll. There's the Danishes. Is that what you're talking
no,
about?
I don't think, but maybe it's like a sweet roll. But
That's what it was. Yes,
Yeah.
that's what it. Delicious. And they actually source their coffee, I think, from like Colombia. Their coffee beans. It's all local,
like
Missouri.
Columbia, Missouri.
Oh yeah, Columbia, Missouri, not Colombia. Columbia.
Yeah.
So 10-12 Main, support local.
Yes.
We always are.
What time do they open during the week?
6 a.m. I believe.
Even on like the weekends or
Yeah. Or maybe 7. It
I
might.
don't know.
I think it's 7. It is not 6. It is 7 a.m. They open for coffee at 7 a.m.
I enjoy the Jackie if you're a sweeter girl. Okay.
Yes, and that's like an iced white chocolate mocha with caramel, right?
What you got?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All right, hot take. And I already know how you feel about this because I know how you feel about mustard. So mustard does not belong in potato salad.
Oh, that's the only way I will eat mustard.
Really?
It can't be a lot.
That's
Like,
my
it
favorite
has to-
potato salad is the
It
mustard
has
one.
to be kind of like, it has to be a mixture of like mayo and mustard. Cause
Yeah.
it's always a mixture. It's never
Sure.
straight mustard. That
That
would
would
be nasty.
be weird. I mean, I would still eat it because whatever.
You
But
have no taste.
I really don't. Everything tastes good to me.
Which cheap and easy date
Hi.
when it comes to food preferences.
Yes, I do have a list of places that I want to go on dates, and one of them is like Marina 27.
Yes,
I really want to go there. It looks so fancy.
I know, but remember we tried to go for brunch for my birthday. Oh, those people.
Yeah, we had to like.
They
pay
wanted
for-
to pay like this huge deposit for like a group of 6 of us, and I was like,
It
what?
was strange. It was weird.
Anyway, I don't know. I would still try it, but Summit Grill and Lee Summit, I want to try that. I've heard really good things about it.
Did we not go there for my birthday?
That was Third Street Social.
There you go. It's all the same. See,
But Third
I don't
Street
even know.
Social is
Third-
delicious.
it was
I
very
think
good.
that was an option. Summit Grill was
Yes,
an
it was
option,
on
though.
our list. Grog and Galley, I think, is another one that I've heard. I could be making that up. There's a list in my phone from like 2019 that I just was
I
like,
gonna
these are
say,
fancy places.
There's one. There's a breakfast place that I want to try, and I don't think it's fancy or anything, but it's like called like Homegrown or Home Something, and they make their homemade Pop-Tarts, and I was like, oh, that looks so good.
There's a place in Smithville that does that.
I love breakfast food, so
Cool. So yes, mustard. You were like, yes, it does
as
belong.
long as it's not too mustardy, then yes.
Mustard on the beat. Oh,
Yeah.
which I thought
Just
again,
like I
was
like
something
deviled
else.
eggs,
That's
as
so
long as
weird.
they're not too mustardy.
See, and I don't mind mustard at all. Like my mouth is watering thinking about deviled eggs.
Well, deviled eggs okay, but just mustard.
I mean, yeah, let me just get a big old bowl of mustard.
Moving on.
Yes. Okay. So I'm glad that we're in agreement there.
Yeah, no, my kiddo is blowing up my phone.
Do we need to take a break, or did he text you?
He just wants his friend to come over. He can wait.
He can wait.
All right. My next, this is a hot topic. The director of the Secret Service, she got interviewed this last week.
She got crucified.
And if not being prepared had a picture next to it of a person,
it would be that woman.
But I do think she was prepared. That's kind of my hot take. So it's kind of a hot topic and also a hot take. So she goes into this interview. If you must live under a rock if you haven't heard, like, it's bad. Or don't watch TikTok because it's all over TikTok.
It was all over my TikTok.
She cannot answer one question. That we're still investigating. I cannot answer that. I don't know.
She deferred. Yeah, she deferred a lot of it to the FBI too, because they were the ones doing the investigation.
It was horrible, and
somebody ripped into her. I don't remember.
They were like, "This is BS. I want to call for her to be perjured. Like, she's perjuring herself." And it was like, it was serious. They were all mad because Republicans, Democrats alike. It did not matter. They were very upset that she could not provide any answer.
One specific question I remember was, you know, how many shell casings were there? And she's like, I refer to the leader in the FBI who's leading the investigation. And they're like, but you've talked to him. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, like I'm in communication with this person. So you know the answer to this question and you were just not answering the question. And she's like, you can talk to the FBI. I'm just like, hashtag not my job. Like, come on, lady.
Not my job, but it really is
her job.
So she would not even, they asked her, how many days did you have to prepare for this? And she would not give them an answer on how many days she had to prepare for this. Dude. Have you seen documentation of how many times did he request extra Secret Service and it was denied? I don't know. You're telling me that almost a week after it happened, or around a week after it happened, that you didn't look at that? Because believe me, if I'm in charge, now I am in charge of a building, and if something were to go wrong with a resident there, I would immediately go back to, did we know these things? Did we, what did we care plan? Interventions? What did we do? She had to know.
Well, one of the questions that they asked too was, how many hours did you spend preparing for this hearing? And she was like, I'm not sure. And they're like, this is one of the most important hearings of your life in your career. And you're telling us you don't know how much time you spent preparing?
So we talked the last time about the attempted assassination and your kind of
deep state
controversy.
Well, I'm still upset because I listened to our episode again, and I'm still so baffled, bewildered, confused how this kid could fly a drone 6 hours prior to this event, and why there wasn't a 24-hour shutdown on this location.
To be honest, Donald Trump should never have been on that stage. There was already threats against him with Middle Eastern organizations that are terrorist organizations that had already been a threat. He shouldn't have been there. Now, he might have very well been like, I am going and I don't care. And you're trying to, become the president again. You're gonna want to be in front of people. But
that reminds me of another hot take for next time.
Okay. But she did not come prepared. She might have been prepared. My hot take is that I think she's the fall guy. So there's a movie, and I just said this movie. Oh, what is it? Fun with
Dick and Jane.
Dick and Jane. Okay, so in the beginning of the movie, if you haven't watched it, this is a spoiler, I guess. It's not really. In the beginning of the movie, they promote Jim Carrey into this high-level position. That day, the entire company is getting charged with embezzlement, and he's the fall guy. Yeah. Him and his wife end up robbing places to make it because they don't have money, because he wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
So you think she's the fall guy?
I think she is Jim Carrey in this situation. I think she's just the fall guy.
Do we know how recently she acquired that position?
I do not. I just think that she is so afraid to say anything. Like, to me,
I was wondering that too.
I am like in charge of a building with lots of people and lots of employees, and like that is on such a small scale. I would have had every I dotted, every T crossed. I would have come so prepared. I think she can't say anything.
So that's what I was going to say, because like in my line of work, let's say the customer is like, hey, your program, this formula isn't working how it should. It's grading this question wrong. We cannot say like, I'm sorry that that's happening. Like, I'm sorry, you're right. This isn't working properly. You can't admit fault. And I think that maybe she was so prepped that she didn't say something wrong. I think that the play that they were having, whoever coached her, like, I'm sure she has a team of lawyers. They were probably like, refer all questions to the person handling the investigation.
But I also think that if it is really, there's some kind of conspiracy of, because this kid didn't have a motive, they can't figure out a motive. So if there's a conspiracy, she might just be the fall guy. And in that, I have a little bit, like, my heart kind of hurts. Like, because I'm sure that she probably, cared very much for her country. That's why she's like the director of the Secret Service, I don't know. I also want to say that if you go back and watch the videos of the Secret Service, not to make fun of such a sad situation, but I'm going to need the Secret Service to know how to handle their guns a little bit better.
Oh no.
Homegirl could not put her gun back in her holster and was fiddling with it and looking like, not even like a police officer. Like, she looked so unprofessional. I was like, where did they find her? Like,
well, and it's like, you can't even say like, maybe she was just, adrenaline. That's what they're trained. Yeah, they are trained like the highest level of security. And it's not like you're a police officer.
You are the Secret Service.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's just a lot. I mean, a lot of different things, but kind of lighter things are that, you need to come prepared. And number two, maybe if you're the Secret Service, you should know how to deal with
holster your gun.
Yeah.
Well, the only update that we really have about all of that, aside from, I actually think she stepped down.
She did step down. That was the other part. Okay, so after that interview, she did step down
from
as
her
director.
Position. Yeah,
which I get it.
Yeah. So they, that was going to indicate like if she wasn't involved. I don't know. I feel like the way that it was explained to me was like, if she wasn't involved, she should step down.
Yeah.
Because then that's just like, you know what? I fumbled the ball.
If something
went
wrong in a building of mine, I would do the same. Like, I would take, because you are the leader and the director.
You are the fall guy.
You have to say, okay, whether or not I made decisions or I was there and caused the issue, like, I am over these people. I ultimately am responsible, and now I'm going to hold myself accountable for that.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah. Anyway.
Well, the only other I was gonna say the only other update we have about that whole situation is that the FBI did confirm that the bullet that grazed his ear, former President Trump's ear, was from the gun.
It was a bullet. It wasn't shrapnel or anything. And I was gonna say he did agree to do an interview with them to try to give them any information about that day and what he noticed. Yes.
That's good.
Yeah, he's working with them, which he doesn't have the best track record with the FBI. So, like, I was pretty proud of him. I was like, way to be like a bigger person and try to really help with the situation.
I watched a slow motion, like, of his head. Yeah. Like, if he would have moved his head back where it was, it would have gotten like right here.
Yeah, so that's the thing. They're like an unexperienced marksman, and I'm like, he got some experience somewhere.
Somebody trained him. Yeah, because like I said, like when we talked about how there was a theory that he was like Trump orchestrated it.
Was he in the woods, like hanging out and just walked through the woods?
Who?
The shooter.
Oh, I have no idea.
Like, how did you get through there? Like, because there's a wooded area. So I was like, did he just like stay in the wood? How are these things not secure?
Dude, I don't know.
Listen, I went to a conference this fall and there was not one metal detector. Now, it was a Christian conference, but in a world that we live in, I was thinking like it would take one person to hate Christians.
The Lord. Yeah.
And
Christians.
so like I have 5,000 people I can blow up right here, or
Yeah.
shoot up right here. And like, there's not one medical.
I'm assuming
It's been
there's a
long-
doctor on site.
a long day. Not one metal detector or anything. They look
That's
like they just
alarming.
didn't want us to bring our coffees in.
Dang. Jesus is like, leave the caffeine in the lobby, ladies.
They're like, we have coffee, you could buy it.
Like, we have to turn our phones in on Friday for Kevin Hart. For
Yes.
crying out loud. Like, I'm leaving mine in the car. I'm not even
Yeah.
going to take it in. But it's like, the security, a lot of balls were dropped. And we talk about dropping balls. And like, because we juggle a lot.
Yes, we do.
We juggle a lot of balls in our life. Like, we have a lot of
Yeah.
responsibilities. There are certain balls you can drop that are plastic that aren't going to break. There's certain balls that are rubber that are going to bounce right back up. Some of them are glass. This was a glass ball.
Yeah.
Somebody died.
Yeah.
Trump could have died. Like,
Yeah, people were injured and someone died. A firefighter at that, like
yeah,
somebody that's
a hero.
like serving his community. It's just
Yeah.
sad. So yeah. Anyway, that's
Yeah. That's
like the lighter take of a really bad situation. Okay, so my very last one is the Olympics.
Hey.
And it's a hot take / hot topic as well.
I already know.
So-
I already freaking know.
So I want to start by saying that I saw this paraplegic person in like this like
Yes.
Tron looking thing that
Yes.
was walking, and
It
it was
was
walking
so
with the
awesome.
torch. Super cool. He looked like he was having the best time of his life, and I'm sure that equipment is so expensive, but it makes me wish that everybody could have one because it
I
was
know.
so amazing.
Well, and we talked about like that. I wish that would have gotten the type of attention like that Snoop Dogg got for
Yeah.
carrying the torch. Like we
That
love
was so cool.
Snoop. Yeah, but this person can't walk, and they
Yeah.
were walking, and it was it's a modern day miracle, you
Yes.
know. So
It was very neat, and he just looked so happy. Like
Yeah.
the joy on his face was amazing. So if you haven't heard, you again live under a rock.
because
It's all over social media. It's all over. Well, it's all over TikTok. It's all over Instagram. It's all over Facebook, and
Everywhere.
people are giving their opinions. So
we're gonna give ours.
Yes, the Olympics opened with a rendition of the Last Supper looking kind of dance performance. And they were like, a lot of them at least, I'm not going to say all of them, but most of them were like in drag.
I think they were all drag queens.
Well, I wasn't going to put that, like I wasn't going to make a generalized statement.
Oh no, I think that was like at the point. I
Okay.
think it was
So
intentionally.
Bianca's giving me permission. They were all
I think they
in
were
drag.
I think that they were
Except
drag
for
queens.
one child that was in front did not look like they were in drag. It's just a child.
Okay.
So drag queens looking like they're at the Last Supper table. This balloon man comes out of like a buffet dish with like nothing on, but like some like vines and fruit around
I
his
think
private
that's-
area.
Dionysus, I'm probably
Yeah,
saying
it's
that
like
wrong.
Greek.
Or Bacchus. Like
Which, I mean, we're talking about the Olympics, guys.
they originated. They're from Greece.
Yes.
The Olympics started in Greece.
But,
It's
like,
Greek gods.
I get that. It is the Last Supper thing. There's no denying that that's what it's supposed to look
No.
like. But he just looked really strange.
It was an interesting
It's
moment.
art.
It was an interesting moment. I haven't-
Sometimes art just doesn't. Let me just tell you, there's fashion shows all the time, and I will be like,
This
who
is-
would wear that?
And then it's
And
like
there are
everywhere.
people that would spend thousands and thousands upon $10,000s of dollars
Yeah.
on these outfits, and I'm like, ugh.
Make it make sense. No,
Yeah.
I get it. I
You
get
like
it.
look like you're just have a dress that has an umbrella hook to it. Like it doesn't make sense. Or like you're in what's that bubble wrap? Like I've seen something
Yeah.
that looks like you're
Yeah.
wrapped up in bubble wrap, and I'm like, I don't get it. But anyway, it's art. They were in Paris. They're gonna go big or go home. So I know that
They
you
went
got.
big.
I know you got a picture where it looks like there's a guy.
Whose junk fell out of his shorts.
It's not.
It's
So
not
I deep dived. His tights are ripped and it's showing the flesh of his leg, but it definitely
it
looks.
definitely looks like
And there's
something
a
was
child
slipping.
like right there, and it looks like his testicle, but it's not. It's his.
We're just gonna say testicle.
Have I told this story on this show before?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, real quick.
Maybe.
Off topic.
No, but I don't. Okay.
Corbin, when he was little, wanted to say balls all the time, and I was like, no, we're not going to do that anymore. If you want to talk about your anatomy or anybody's anatomy, you're going to use the right word. It's testicles, not balls. And
True story.
mom moment, we're listening to Get Low in the car, and he's in the back seat, obviously, because he's little. And it's like, to the window, to the wall, to the sweat drops down. And without that skipping a beat, Corbin goes, till the sweat drops down my testicle. He was like, he did not think he could even say balls in that.
He's gonna be so mad at you.
Oh well,
He doesn't care. Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, it definitely looked like a testicle.
It did.
There's
I
a
was
child.
like-
I don't understand, and I'm gonna say Hollywood, but like this isn't Hollywood, but it kind of is. So like I don't understand why we have kids like with like sexual things going on, because it did have like a sexual feeling to it. And I don't understand why kids have to be involved in that. Like, let's let the kids be kids. It's weird. I just stop.
Yeah. I haven't watched it, so I don't even really know.
It's just,
I saw
it's
the
cringy.
pictures and I was like, this is fun. Like,
I
I
was so
definitely could tell that
confused.
they were Greek gods, but then like the Last Supper, like it's art, it's meta, it's whatever. I like Greek mythology. I like,
I used to love like learning and reading about that. I would love to go to Greece. Like, I think it would be super cool. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I will say that some of my Christian friends have like posted there's different viewpoints, but one that is pretty clear that I agree with is, why are we acting like this is so horrible? Like, I will just say this: we expect worldly people to act like Christians.
I was gonna say Christianity is not the religion of the world. Like that's a very, I feel like, Americanized mindset
I
that
think
we have
they feel
to
like
accommodate
it is.
that.
I feel like they think it's disrespectful because they are drag queens and it is the Last Supper and how important that is to them. But at the end of the day, we expect them to act or know like how meaningful that, like, they don't. Like, I don't know why we have such high expectations of people. And in reality, Jesus didn't either. He did not have high expectations. He had high expectations for the people that were religious, that were hypocrites, and that's what would make him angry in the Bible. So,
and I've seen
it's Hollywood, it's whatever. It's, at the end of the day, there are people dying, there are people starving, there are people that are hating their lives and wanting to end their lives today. Like, that matters a lot more than this. But
let's get mad about the right things.
I mean, it to me, it was cringy. Whether or not it was the Last Supper or not, take that out. They could have been standing on a throne. It was weird. It was weird and cringy. I did not like it. I was like, ugh. I didn't like the lady with her like head. It looked like the lady.
It was Marie Antoinette.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But it like freaked me out. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Again, I just think it's like really cringy. But again, they're in Paris. They're trying to like.
She's from France. Like, Marie Antoinette was, the queen of France.
So like, I get the references. Yeah. Maybe I'm just not as artistic as I thought I was. I'm like, they really missed the mark. But they got Snoop Dogg and they got the guy in like the Tron thing. Those were cool. I was super excited about that.
Celine Dion.
Oh yes, gosh, I can't believe I almost forgot to mention her. Her performance was amazing. I'm so happy.
It was emotional.
Oh gosh, she's forever like one of the best vocalists ever. So yeah.
And I think that's a great place to stop because
it doesn't. Thirsty.
Yeah, I've been drinking. It doesn't get better than Celine Dion. So we've loved catching up with you guys. We will see you next week. Don't forget to like us, follow us, stalk us,
YouTube,
whatever.
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're on everything.
I just recently downloaded X.
I don't know what that is.
Twitter. So I will try to promote us on Twitter /X or whatever. Yeah. But
just don't get a Tesla.
Yeah, no, electric cars are on the out. That's the hot take.
Listen, y'all need to watch the movie Leave the World Behind or whatever it's called. With the Obamas produced it or whatever. Yeah. Y'all need to watch that.
I've heard it's crazy.
Never gonna want to electric car. You watch it. Literally, the thing that happened with the technology thing the other day, I was like, oh no. They knew.
It's time.
They knew. This is a test.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
so
anyway, I'm Bianca,
I'm Hannah.
and we are
Taking Back Sunday.